Okay, today I'm in Derby with Andy Margett, who describes himself as a compulsive gambler. Thanks for talking to us today, Andy. It's very brave of you to agree to do this. So can you tell people a little bit about your story, please?
Yeah, no problem. My name's Andy Margett. I'm a compulsive gambler. My last bet was 14th of April 2007. Starting off, I loved horse racing. My granddad used to have a bet on the horses. My dad did. Dad still does. And I just like kind of followed it on with the family kind of thing. Once a year on the Grand National, you 50p each ways, picking out the good name, the name that was funny, or the colours on the jockey. And it kind of progressed from there. I qualified as a football referee when I was 14. So I had a bit more money in my pocket, more than some of the other kids at school. And I used to have a bit of a bet on a Saturday afternoon. Dad run down a bet for me, having a bit of a round robin or a flag bet, like 5p flag, etc. and stuff like that. And it was good to do. I enjoyed it. Got into racing a bit more. Started going down to my local track now and again in Uttoxeter. Nice to go down there and watch the actual racing as a spectator sport as well. Got to 16, left school, went to college, met up with some new mates and started playing a bit of cards for money, free card brag. But it was about the only time where I was quite happy I was going to lose because I didn't want to carry 5 and 10 and 20p's around with me, so to speak. But we was aiding and abetting at college. And sometimes it was on a Friday night, if any of our parents were away on holiday, we all piled around, get the cans in, kebabs in, Chinese in, and have a bit of a session on the cards, just playing free card brag. It was a good social thing to do, really enjoyed it. All for like 20, 30 quid each, like, so we wasn't bothered if we won or lost. It was a good social thing. Carried on with my horses as well. Quite happily at a weekend, and then on the big meets like Cheltenham Festival, Derby Week, Royal Ascot, etc. Got to 21, managed to get myself a good job in Derby, a place called Toyota, where we build cars. Met my wife, Becky. We fell in love, obviously. Normal story. Fell in love, we bought a house, and got online. Got introduced to playing poker online. I thought, I'm going to have a bit of a crack at this. This was about circa 2005. I started playing poker. Just initially the buy-in, like £10, £20, like to buy into a tournament. Won 20 tournaments online. So I thought, right, pretty good at this. I'm beating quite a lot of people at this, and won like a few 4-figure sums playing them. To this day, I never withdrew that money once off the system at all, off online at all. I started gambling a bit more and more. I had the time, money and opportunity to do so. I worked shift work, so my wife was on office hours. So I used to time how long I could gamble properly for to maximise my time to do it. So I'm working out how long I had to be able to function with sleep. So I'll be like going to bed 2-3 in the morning, up at 6 if I was on night shift, get up at like 10 in the morning, and then obviously gamble throughout the day until I was ready to go to work again. Started to borrow money to gamble, even though I was quite well paid. Got out one credit card, maxed that out. Got out another credit card, maxed that out. Got out another credit card, maxed that out. And got out a 4th credit card, maxed that out.
What were you betting on when you were doing this? Was it still poker?
It was mainly poker, yes, but I was still having bets on the horses. But my horse racing was like my baby, so to speak. So I was like not going hard at it at that point. It did spiral out of control, even the horses as well and everything else. But the poker was like eating up my money quite a lot and my time as well. So I got a loan out, £15,000 loan from the bank. I remember it was a Friday evening, about 4:30, 4:45, before I went to work. As soon as I got that 15 grand hit in the account, I drew a grand out straight away. in cash. Went straight over to the Coral opposite, and I did £1,000 on a fobty in about 45 minutes. Felt nothing, felt numb. Then just went to work. As soon as I got back home, cleared my credit cards, and went again. Maxed all 4 out again. Get another 15 grand loan. Cleared them again. Maxed them out again, those 4 credit cards. This is over a period of between 2005, 2006 and early part of 2007. I started to run out of ways to get money, so I lied to my missus. We've got a secured loan on the house, another £15,000. Obviously my wife needed to be a co-signatory on it, and they needed to talk to her. So obviously I told her it was just for a £5,000 loan, just to get me back on track. But obviously they read out the terms as if it was £15,000. And obviously when you are trying to hide things, like hide bank statements and hide you lie more and more and more. So obviously I lied and said, look, they're just telling you that's how much I could borrow, but I'm being responsible. I'm only borrowing £5,000. And obviously she signed away and believed it.
When you were borrowing this money initially, was it to try and dig yourself out of a losing hole, or was it because you just wanted to bet more?
I always thought, yeah, that's it, enough. But it was difficult to stop everything. I just wanted to gamble again. I thought, all right, I've got the opportunity again now. All my credit cards are clean. I've got money in the bank. Why not? And I just started up again. And obviously I got myself, in a matter of months, bang at it again. That 15 grand secured loan went again. Obviously the credit cards all cleaned off, but I never shut them. I left that opportunity, and I went back to it again. January 2007, you have those New Year's Eve resolutions. I'm thinking, right, I've got to sort myself out here. I need to stop. And I was running out of opportunities to sort myself out and pay back debts and stuff. I was hiding mail all over the place. Obviously, I was neglecting what food we had, shopping and stuff and all that. It was all absolute basic stuff, because I needed that gambling money. I needed those funds to carry on gambling. I was betting on pure cash tables, on poker, what, £400, £500, £600 a hand. I was just so out of control. At horses, I started going from like having flag and round robin bets to like 20, 30 quid each way on a horse, which is quite a lot for me, really. And even one point I went 40, £50, £60 on a horse, and that was never me. Greyhounds, started to hit the greyhounds, hit everything really, just anything where I could like try and win some money. I thought, right, I need to stop all this, and I try and do it through willpower alone. Week or two at a time, I was like, yeah, I'm alright here, I'm doing alright. Then the what ifs come back. As soon as I got paid, yes, pay all my bits of bobs off, I'm gambling again. Got to the 14th of April 2007, the day of the last bet. I felt pressure on me. I was like, absolutely in bits. It was 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. I just lost, I think I went all in on pocket twos. Crazy thing to do. Lost that money, and I just got raging. And the house that we had a little Victorian terrace, so we had a cellar. I went straight down into that cellar, picked up a hammer, and proceeded to smash my PC up to bits. It was a horrific time. I remember, like, we just had my baby son, my first child. My wife come down, what are you doing? And she was like, I was just like, oh no, the computer's broke. So I even lied about that. Just like a few weeks before that, I was like doing the night feeds, and I got my baby son on my lap doing the feed while I was still gambling. And I was doing that for a reason, so I could gamble. Thinking, yeah, I am being responsible, but I'm not. I was so hooked, I wasn't interested in my son. I was more interested in just laying on the next bet, the next gamble. And that's where I was. So the PC smashed up. I've got no access to money, debt spiraled out of control, feeling all the weight on my world on my shoulders. Come to another day, 8th of June 2007. Came back home, my wife found one of my hidden statements. What's this? And I just blurted every single thing out. Jaw swinging, my wife, got a 3-month-old son in her hand, giggling away, haven't got a clue in the world, kicks me out for the night. And it's one of my we talk about barriers a lot, about trying when you're trying to stop gambling. I've got a psychological barrier to this day, still remember it vividly. That 10-15 minute drive back to my mum and dad's, I switched the radio off, and all I could hear all the way was the death march ringing around in my head, thinking that's where I'm going to end up if I carry on. I was going to be pushing up daisies. So I got back to mum and dad, got to mum and dad's, proceeded to tell them everything as well. Obviously they were apoplectic, went through the roof at me, which anyone would, any parent would, so to speak, because they care so much about you. They could see I knew who I was rock bottom. Needed to get help, got online, found a Gamblers Anonymous meeting in the Derby the following Tuesday. I was drag kicking and screaming, didn't want to go. Still blaming everybody else but myself. Oh, it was a bad beat at the bookies, it was bad beat online. Not my fault I did this, I did it by accident. Blaming everybody, everything. Went to that GA meeting thinking, no one's like me. Proceeded to be like a nodding dog like you see in the back of a car. Hearing everybody's story, thinking, yeah, I've done that. Wow, yeah, I've done that. Crazy, I've done that. And it took me a while, go to these GA meetings weekly, working out this is where I need to be. I had to learn to take responsibility of my life again. And slowly but surely, I was getting there, a day at a time. The biggest thing you lose as a compulsive gambler, and when you have slips or whatever, is the trust in you, because there's so many lies you tell about you. My wife won't walk with me in the street for about 6-7 weeks. She won't hold my hand or anything, she'll be walking in front or behind me. And she lost complete trust, complete respect in me. She had to deal with like all my finances all of a sudden. I had to be treated like a kid, have pocket money for when I wanted to go out and stuff and all that lot. I had no bills to pay or anything, my wife did everything. Went to a debt charity service called Step Change, helped me budget my debts and start living my life again. Slowly but surely, day at a time, life got better. Got it tattooed on my arm. It was hard, it was difficult, it was a long journey. That first year was horrific. It was hard, I had those urges, I wanted to gamble so bad. Boxing Day, 2007, big betting day. Loved King George meeting and stuff and all that lot. My wife had gone down south with my son to see family. Left me on my own with £20. Absolutely desperate to gamble, bouncing off the walls and stuff. I had to think of a way to stop myself from gambling because I had the time, the money and the opportunity to do so. So I rang up a Chinese takeaway, ordered 20 quid worth of Chinese. It stopped me from gambling that day. I put a £3 on in weight, don't get me wrong, but the lengths you went to not gamble, and it got me through that day. And I always talk about a day at a time, and that's how I still live my life now. I've cracked on with my life. It got easier, it got better. I've been blessed twice more with 2 more kids, another son and a daughter, and life has got better. I'm doing well at work. Springing on to now, I do a vlog about my gambling addiction, trying to spread strength and hope and positive life that you can lead to pull away from it. And it's amazing to talk and amazing to be so humbled that many people come and message me and talk to me and say thanks Andy, and be able to actually do bits of work and be involved with it as well. So that's my story. My name's Andy and I'm a compulsive gambler.